Welcome back to another weekly roundup of cloud gaming news brought to you by yours truly. Remember, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest in cloud gaming, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video, and of course, if you enjoy the content, give the video a like, helps the channel out a lot. But for now, let's get into this week's cloud gaming news. Let's start with GeForce Now, who this week have got a fair amount of mainstream attention. First off, the story which will most likely dominate this video, as it has with pretty much all of your news this week, Cyberpunk 2077. To experience the ray tracy goodness of Cyberpunk, you really only had two options: having your own local RTX hardware, which, thanks to scalpers, has become increasingly difficult this year, or playing it in the cloud. As we mentioned before, to access RTX hardware on GeForce Now, you would be required to sign up to the Founders tier. However, while they're still technically in their beta phase, this is just $5 a month. Now, even with the Founders tier, the hardware is still currently capped at a Tesla T10-8 GPU, which is a server equivalent of around about an RTX 2080 Ti, so they are still not up to the newest 30 series cards on GeForce Now. What this means is gameplay is capped at 1080, and to get a solid 60 FPS, you would need to take a hit on some of the graphic settings, reducing them to somewhere around medium. I'll link here to a video from Jerry over at GameTech Planet, who did some gameplay testing on the Founders tier of GeForce Now. Now, originally GeForce Now was only planning to support the title when purchased from GOG.com, but last minute announced they would also be supporting both Steam and the Epic Game Store, which is a great move if you're somebody who likes to have all of your games in one place. I now have this one title which I annoyingly have to launch from the GOG Galaxy launcher, and my OCD is unhappy. In another big news story for GeForce Now, this week was the Game Awards, and for the first time, instead of just seeing traditional sponsors like Xbox and Steam, GeForce Now was an official partner of the Game Awards 2020. Not only that, but the usual award nominee demos, which are free to try on Steam, are also available to try out on GeForce Now, which is a great move if you wanted to check out some of these titles without installing a whole load of demos on your PC. Some of the demos this year include Graven, Little Nightmares 2, Disc Room, A Juggler's Tale, Song of Iron, as well as other indie titles. Moving on to Google Stadia, and of course, let's talk about Cyberpunk again. With current gen consoles having, let's say, issues running Cyberpunk.
You watch all the people pop up. Oh, there's a bunch of cars popping up. There's some more people, there you go.
And expensive PC hardware required to run it locally, this already massively successful title has been a great catalyst to push more people into trying gaming in the cloud. And this week, the feedback from players trying this on Stadia has been largely positive. Alongside GeForce Now, Stadia is another platform that allowed players to jump straight into the game the second it was launched, without lengthy downloads, access issues, or big day one patches. At the moment, Stadia is still sweetening that deal by running a promotion until the 18th of December, where if you buy Cyberpunk on Stadia, you can also claim a Premier Edition bundle for free. So if for some reason you haven't picked up Cyberpunk yet, maybe you just woke up from your coma or something, hope you're okay, then Stadia is definitely looking like a viable option. And if you're thinking, yeah, I'd love to, but Stadia isn't available where I live, check again, because this week Stadia launched in 8 new European countries. Now, this list may look familiar, as we talked about this a few weeks ago after Stadia updated the countries in their terms and conditions, expecting no one to notice. But those countries have now been confirmed, and the expansion is complete. And those countries are Austria, Czechia, Hungary, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, and Switzerland. And in our final piece of Stadia news, the long-awaited YouTube live streaming feature has started to roll out to users. We've talked about this in the past, and this long-awaited feature, in my opinion, was sorely needed to get more content creators on board with streaming games on Stadia, as the feature allows you to link your channel and schedule your stream from within the Stadia app without the need for more expensive streaming peripherals like a streaming PC, cameras, overlays, and let's face it, it's difficult to be a streamer without a room full of RGB. I'm personally guilty of that one. I'll link to a great video from the guys over at Cloud Gaming Extreme for a rundown of the new streaming feature and a guide on how to set this up. Moving over to Xcloud, and this week Microsoft confirmed the news we've been waiting for. We've known for a while that Xcloud was due to come to both PC and iOS, which is great news if you don't currently have an Android device to try it on, or like me, you can only play certain titles on a smaller screen. And the good news is that the PC and iOS versions of Xcloud aren't too far away, with Microsoft confirming this week the betas are due to be released in spring 2021. Xbox's marketing chief Garrett West stated, "In spring 2021, we will take the next step in our journey to reach more players around the world by making cloud gaming a part of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, available on Windows PCs through the Xbox app and browser, and iOS devices through the mobile web browser. By adding over 1 billion devices as a path to playing in the Xbox ecosystem, we envision a seamless experience for all types of players." So fingers crossed, by spring 2021, some of the platform inconsistencies we've talked about in the past will be resolved, with both Game Pass for PC and Xcloud both being available in the same Xbox app for Windows. And let's finish up with some quick Shadow news. If you use the Shadow app, you would have seen the update recently with client version 3.7.5, and I'll link to the full changelog in the description down below. But a couple of things to call out. Firstly, in the Shadow quick menu, as well as the recent dynamic bandwidth setting, there is now a connection status showing you the current performance of your local network, and this has an optional notification which can be displayed when you're not in the quick menu to let you know when your network status has changed, but at which point your shiny dynamic bandwidth setting should take over anyway, so you wouldn't notice any difference in your performance. And if you did manage to get your hands on a next-gen console without grossly overpaying a scalper, then Shadow now works with both the Xbox Series X and PlayStation's DualSense controllers. But that's it from me this week, so of course, if you enjoyed the video, you found it somewhat helpful, a like rating would be appreciated. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video. Hope everyone's staying safe out there, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.